What's that?
Ow! Watch it.
Shh.
What's what?
Shh. That. There it is again. What is that?
Ow, that's my nose.
Someone turn a torch on.
Turn a torch on!
So, why the dramatics?
Well, didn't you hear it? Like, outside? A cross between scratching and squeaking.
The tree branches in the wind?
No. It was breathing too.
So screeching, scratching, breathing. An itchy mouse?
No, it wasn't bigger than a mouse, you know.
A rat?
Ew.
I'm serious. Listen.
When I was 5 or 6, my mum would put me to bed so early it was still light outside. Then she'd watch her TV programs and I'd press my ear against the wall and listen to the muffled sounds. I'd try to imagine a story that went along with the bangs and crashes and tires squeaking and people shouting and talking. Do you ever think about what's on the other side?
Yeah, a giant angry rat with fleas.
Not off the tent. The other side of anything.
I'll tell you fellas are still up.
Shh. There's something out there. In the dark.
Yeah. The birds, insects, wild pigs. What do you think they go home to their beds in the city at night?
No. But there's something out there. Watching us. Listening to us.
Oh, don't let it scare you, man. Scare it back.
I grew up in this suburb called Island Bay, and in this town there was this old college that was abandoned, and everyone knew that it was haunted. There were stories of ghosts there, a story about someone who would just walk around inside, and all of the kids from the suburb, that we all used to gather out the front of this college and try see something. And one night we heard a story that the side door was open. It was always open. So me and a couple of mates decided to walk up there and we were going to try test this door.
My dad used to tell us scary stories since I was a kid, and one of them was called the Golden Leg. This guy comes over and he sees her and she says, "Okay, I'm gonna die, but I have this golden leg and I need you to bury this golden leg with me. You can't sell it, don't take it. It needs to end with me." And so he goes, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that."
I was the last one to go to bed and everything was dark. The doors were shut, the windows were all closed. I checked and then I went into the bathroom to brush my teeth.
A reoccurring nightmare I used to have as a child. I'd be in my backyard, not a care in the world, playing with my friends, running around, and out of nowhere these storm clouds would just roll in. And because it was a reoccurring dream, I knew exactly what that meant.
I remember actually sleeping and I was dreaming I was in a race car, and every time I went over a bump, I'd stop breathing.
One day we were playing hide and seek, and it was my little sister's turn to hide, and so she waddled off looking for a hiding place, and then once we'd finished counting we started looking and we couldn't find her anywhere. We looked over the entire warehouse, we got all the staff to help out, they had to call out for David and my sister over the speakerphone. I remember going up to a random lady and just bawling my eyes out because I was so terrified that I had lost my sister for life.
We got there. No one wanted to push it. I can't remember who did, but someone tried the door and it swung open. And we were in this huge hall and it was so dark you couldn't see anything. And every shadow looked like it was someone. Every creak sounded like someone was following us.
And then he buries her. And then he goes away and he can't like sit with himself. So he goes and digs her up again and takes her golden egg. And he sells it, he makes millions of dollars and he's living a great life. And then all of a sudden, her ghost slowly comes back to him and like ends up calling his phone. He's like, ring, ring. He's like, hello? And the lady's like, you took my golden leg.
And I was brushing my teeth and in the reflection, I saw the shower door just start to swing. And swing and swing. And I remember brushing my teeth thinking, this is really weird.
My friends would scatter, run home, just disappear, and my feet were glued to the ground. I couldn't move, I was frozen. And I think I would hear this scary music and then my neighbor would come around the corner.
And I remember this because I actually did stop breathing. And after maybe 15, 20 seconds, I'd start to breathe again during my sleep. But there were so many bumps that I felt like at one point I was just gonna stop breathing completely.
And I remember we were all super scared and we're walking around these halls and then the next thing we hear is footsteps. Ka-push, 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 ka-push. They sounded like they were getting louder.
This is really weird and it just kept swinging, swinging and swinging and it didn't lose momentum. And then I felt something cold around my ankle and I looked down and nothing was there.
And we heard a dog getting louder as well, and we looked right out the window, and as soon as we looked, we saw this figure just passing by in what looked like a white gown, and we just boosted it. We ran, we didn't look back.
I felt like something was in there with me, and my heart was bumping out of my chest.
And he'd just come around and he would come closer and closer and closer, and before he would get close enough to touch me, I'd wake up in a cold sweat.
And my dad would tell it like this, and I'd be like, ooh. And then by the end of it, he'd be like, he'd knock on the door. And then as a kid, you're like, oh, who's that? And he's like, she's here.
And to this day, we don't know whether that was just someone walking their dogs or a ghost.
Don't you want to know what's on the other side?
Kia ora, friends. Do you ever wonder what's on the other side? I'm so relieved to know that you were here with us on our crazy night. Make sure to come back next week to find out what happened to the baby Ruru. In the meantime, we have another challenge for you. Create a shadow show. Point a light at a wall and use your hands or an object to tell us a little story. Record your video and send it to us. All of the information will be in the description box below. Keep watching to see your lullabies from last week.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Auf mein Fegele, mach zu dein Egele, ai, lu, lu, lu. Schlaf
auf Geschmack, mein Kind, schlaff und sei gesinnt.
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Calling Maroons, Haris Lianden Magrai. An your Machrida, Shekus Per Mogal.
Iwi o Timotu Whakaki mai ki o maha e
Thanks for sending in your awesome videos. But before you run off to film your scary shadows for us, make sure to check out the bonus content for this episode. Meet the spooky spirits that haunt New Zealand theatres in the Story Bites video, Ghosts. And in the KidVids clip, Rako and Edison ask everything they want to know from a cello player.